Gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tenek127 and welcome back to another Tera console video. And before we get into today's video, I do want to make a few disclaimers before we go ahead and jump into this discussion. I do not hate Tera. I love Tera console. Right now, Tera is probably one of my top 5 MMOs on console right now. But as a content creator and especially an influencer for this game, it is my job to point out problems and issues, especially ones that I personally find with the game. My goal is to make a better overall, or at least help influence the developers to make a better overall experience for you guys. So, fanboys, all that stuff, put your pitchforks down, because I'm standing on a rooftop with a minigun. It ain't going to do you any good. Just kidding. But anyway, guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to today's video. And today I wanted to talk about Tera Console's queue system. That if you know me, if you've been around since I started covering Neverwinter, you probably should have known already that I would absolutely hate Tera's queue system, at least until you hit level 60. To my opinion, the game's queue system does not get decent until you hit level 60. And even from there, there is one special dungeon that just completely screws it up. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about it, because as you guys know, we recently had a double XP weekend. And for those who don't know, I recently started another tune on Tera console. As you guys can see, I have a level 56 character here. I'll explain my reasonings for starting another character later on. But the point is, I couldn't really utilize the double XP weekend too much, and I'm going to explain to you guys why. But first, we're going to go ahead and talk about my issue with the queue system. This whole level gap thing, so let's start with just by talking about Bastion of Locke. You guys know how Bastion of Locke, you can first access it around level 20, and only people from level 20 to 25 can queue for that. And then, people 26 to 31 can only queue for the next dungeon, and 32 to 37 for the next one, etc., etc. You guys know how all that works. I think this level grouping, instance matching stuff is the stupidest thing ever. And I said the same thing with Neverwinter's skirmishes, the early game ones. I hate that. I don't know why MMO companies do this stupid move. Now, if there's some type of logic behind it that they like, fine. I understand the whole thing of wanting to obviously not make higher level players just run low level people through the dungeon and all that stuff. Why not just nerf the high level players and make all dungeons accessible to everyone like they do in Final Fantasy XIV? That's the one main thing I have to applaud for, because I keep seeing games do it over and over again. Hell, even Skyforge does that, for Christ's sakes. They even do that right. If you're for some of their instances with like invasions and stuff like that, if you're too low, they buff you to the current level for it. If you have to do a practice avatar and you're too high, they nerf you to the current level for it. That's what Tera and even Neverwinter, that's what they really need to do for these queue systems. And this, I don't understand why these MMORPG companies won't do this in the first place, because this is one of the easy excuses that people have to always say that the game is dead, because they're sitting around in a queue for a year trying to do one of the early game dungeons because they feel like no one plays the game anymore. If these companies would simply just remove those dumb caps and just put a nerfed ground for higher level players to go, like let's say there's a group of people who want to go in there. There's 3 level 20s, a level 35, and a level 65 that, are queuing up for Bastion of Locke. Just nerf the level 35 person and nerf the level 65 person down to level 20. I'm not saying, you have to remove their skills and all that. Just nerf them for that dungeon run. Do that for all the low level dungeons. I don't understand why a lot of developers like to take this, level grouping path. It makes the queue system and everything so unbalanced. And I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm just ranting. Maybe there's some really good reason that they do it. And if I'm wrong, and you guys feel that there's a justified reason for this, please feel free to, you know, school me in the comments. But I personally hate this system. I hate it when MMORPGs do this. It's annoying. And now, what I'm going to tell you guys what I experienced this weekend was I planned on having my new main character 65 this weekend, but I couldn't. So, have any of y'all ever heard of the level 60 dungeon called Manaya's Core? It seems to have some type of like time limit restriction on it. Now, I'm guessing, you know, that has to deal with like the gear you can earn and stuff like that on the dungeon and everything, which is fine. You know, there has to be restrictions. You can't just, you know, gear up and you know, and just be able to grab all the gear you want in seconds. Understandable. But that dungeon's mechanic system is so broken, it's unreal. First things first, you have these players in game that act like the text chat system don't exist. So when you say, hey, wait before you go into that boss room and all that fun stuff. Well, not only do you know, when they move ahead, do you get locked out, but did you know that if you actually lock everyone out of the first boss room, they get locked out of the rest of the dungeon? And let's say, you know, someone just had to go take a leak real fast and didn't have time to type it. Well, not only is that person screwed on doing the rest of the dungeon, but if they leave, not only do they get a penalty, but they also have the dungeon's timer restriction sitting on them as well. I tried to run this dungeon over this weekend at least 15 times and dealt with this same issue in Manaya's Core over and over and over again because people couldn't communicate. People were leaving the dungeon left and right. You know, you go into queues and you have those guys that they join the queue. They're sitting in your group the whole run, but they never actually enter the dungeon because they just got tired of waiting in the queue, went AFK for a bit, or, you know, whatever the case may be. But I got screwed out of so many dungeon runs, so much XP farming, so many quests because of how broken that dungeon system is. It's unreal. Now keep in mind, guys, everything said in this video is just my personal opinion, so feel free to go ahead and share all of your thoughts in the comments below. But anyway, guys, y'all enjoyed this video, and if you agree with me, smash that thumbs up button for me. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. It's your boy Tnek127, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Till next time, peace out, take care.